Hi everybody, Martyn at Flicking Feathers again today. I'm tying the ball peen craw. It's a wee sort of suggestive crayfish pattern. It's excellent for bass and it's a hell of a good carp fly as well. As always, I'll put a materials list in the description, along with a link to the Patreon page for anybody who wants to support the channel, get access to the members only content and be eligible for the giveaways. So I've got my hook and my vise. This is a size 6 Kamasan B175. Originally this is the original pattern that's listed in Jay Zimmerman's book as a TMCO 3761, but the B175 is a better hook. It's stronger, slightly shorter than the shank, which you can make your mind up on that doesn't really make it, but it's also got a sprout bend rather than the round bend, which I think is a better, more aggressive hooking bend. So that's why I've changed it basically, but the strength is the primary factor. Now I'm tying this sort of tan, soft shelly version, so I'm using a tan thread. It's actually uni and it's rusty done, but it's tannish in colour. But you can tie them like olive, up to yourself. So I'm going to just bang on a bed of thread all the way to where the barb was before I crushed it, and then just come back to the front of the fly. I'm going to get some crystal flash. I'm using 2 strands each of fluorescent orange and root beer. You don't need to mix the colours, you can just use root beer, you could just use orange. It's up to you really. And we just change the colour of this fly to suit where you're fishing. So I folded those 4 strands of crystal flash over the thread and I've started at the eye and I'm going to tie them all the way along the shank. This just keeps everything nice and even, and it also is going to lift the weight slightly off the shank of the hook, which moves the centre of gravity. It helps to flip the fly and make sure it rides hook up. I'm going to come back again to the front, and then I've got some SIlli legs. Right, these are pumpkin with a black and blue flake in them. It's actually a spinnerbait skirt, but again, use whatever you like. You know, you can use barred or plain or whatever. I'm going to fold this over the thread, same as the crystal flash. Now, before I run back, I'll just take a couple of wraps here just to anchor it before I stretch them, and then stretch them tight and go back and touching or near touching turns so you don't get any bumps. Right back to the same tie-in point at the barb. Just got to blast up the front. And then I've set my material spring so that the overall fly is 2 inches long if I cut it at that. Just got to separate all these legs. You just pull the individual strands, they separate. So you've got 8 strands of crystal flash and 8 strands of rubber now at the back, and what I do smooth it all back so they're up to the spring. Then I'll just snip them. That's got to give me a fly that's about 2 inches long. Right, it'll be to that. Eyes, I'm using some medium bead chain in gold, and I'm going to cut off 4 beads. Just offer them in at the front. Make sure they're sitting where you want them. Right, figure 8 them in. Keep the number of turns the same. In each direction. And then come over and under to lock them in place, and you'll find that they're actually quite firm even without glue. You can still force them if you need to. And then you can put a wee bit of super glue in here if you want, just to secure them. But they're because they're on this bed of material rather than on the hook shank, they don't really want to spin anyway. Now I'm going to make a dubbing loop. Come back to the legs. Make sure that loop's closed. Just put a half hitch on up here just to keep my thread out of the way. Then I will use my bobbin cradle. And I'm going to put a bit of wax on both strands of the loop. Just gives it a bit of grip when you're working, right? The wax isn't actually, you know, when you get on a hot day, if these are in your car and it's, or whatever, in the box, I mean, the wax will all melt anyway, and lose its strength, but the wax just is grip here when we're working. It makes it much easier to manage the dubbing loop and all that. Now, in here, so the soft shell pattern that's in J Zimmerman's book is, it calls for like the Whitlock SLF blend soft shell colour, which I've used in the past, but actually I ran out and I blended this myself. It's a mix of this fluorescent shell pink, tan, sand, and a wee bit of EP hot orange shrimp dubbing, and it's pretty close. You know, I hadn't looked at the flies that I tied with the Whitlock, and this is as close as I could get it, but the fish certainly don't seem to care at all, obviously. So that's in my loop, and I've got, I don't know, 2.5 inches of dubbing in there, and I've left it quite shaggy. I'm just spinning this up in my tool in the loop. Just keep going, get it nice and tight, and I'm going to just test that I can pull that loop there, so that's alright. I'll come in with my Velcro. Get that a wee bit shaggy, and then twist it up again. But just try to prevent too many fibres getting trapped, really. That looks pretty good. I'll come in, get that right back in against the legs. You can even sort of build it up a wee bit. Come in, sweep that back there so that I'm, again, no trapping. I'll try to minimise how many fibres I'm trapping. And then when you've done about a third, you can come back with your thread. I'll just use that. I was nearly spot on with the amount of dubbing there, that's good. A couple of turns across. Trim that tool out the way. Fold it back. Tie over it. Trim away the waste. You can just strip that dubbing back out of the end of the loop. Just put it back in the pile. You're ready for, you can use it in the next dubbing loop. Smooth everything out. Make another dubbing loop. This can be slightly longer. Come across your thread, tie it off, close the loop. Half hitch, get the bobbin cradle back, and then I'm just going to do the same thing again. Wax the legs of the loop for working grip, and I'm going to take some tan Craw dub. It's just another blend of synthetics, nice and shaggy. And I'm going to kind of slightly align the fibres, and then put it in, spread it out a wee bit, need a wee bit more. It's better to overfill your loop than underfill it, obviously, right? You want to have plenty of dubbing in here. And then I'll grab my dubbing spinner again, hook it in, and then just spin up. But you can see there that the wax is really holding the dubbing. You know, it makes filling and unfilling these loops so much easier. When you think that's well enough spun, you can have a wee pull at the fibre. You should be able to get a pull, and it's quite, it will be quite well gripped by the thread. Now you'll not be able to easily just free it. And I'm just coming along, shagging that up a wee bit. And then same again, just fill up the first third. Again, you can put it back, you can build it up. Cross the thread, pull it back and tie over again, make sure it's locked in, trim that away, and come to your front. whip finish. Once and again. Put that nice and tight. And I like to just come in with a bit of super glue. And I'll just quickly touch it to take away any excess. And that will set it off as well, right? You should do that before this stage, because if you touch the thread head with the wire brush that I'm going to use, there's a good chance that you can bust the whip finish. So first thing I do is I use the Velcro to pull out as much as I can. The Velcro seems to be better at getting the trapped stuff. And you can be quite rough. And then I'm going to follow it with a wire brush. Just brushing everything out and sort of encouraging it back. Until you've got this wee hairy mass. It's a really nice wee fly. I really like this pattern. I've actually got a notion I'll be tying some of these on some saltwater hooks for my next flats trip, whenever that will be. So the last thing is just take all the fibres of the dubbing that are coming out of the side of the body and make sure they are out the side. You can even stretch them up. And then these on the bottom, you want to trim these. Right, trim them off nice and close. This is quite important as it contributes to the fly fishing the right way up. If it's so shaggy in the bottom, the hydrodynamics are being affected by the drag, right? So if you've got that mass of dubbing on the bottom, the fly's not necessarily going to flip and might be fishing the wrong way, especially if there's current. Whereas now all the drag is above or in the gap side, which is excellent for fighting the weight of the hook, and then you've got the 4 bead chains as well. So there you go. Right, that's the ball peen craw. Right, it's based, I believe, on the hammerhead carp fly from the Great Lakes. But this is a great fly for carp in its own right, I think. Especially around where I fish. So, wee bit of varnish just to seal all that. Even though I glued it already, the head cement on top of the glue gives you a very durable finish. So there you go, that's the ball peen craw. Great wee pattern. Smallmouth bass in the rivers and the, you know, I'm sure in the lakes. I don't fish lakes for smallmouth. There's none round about here. Great carp fly as well. And as I say, I've got a notion that it's probably got to turn into, end up being a staple in my saltwater box as well. So I hope that was useful. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please remember to give me a thumbs up below and subscribe to the channel. Tight lines, guys. Bye.